in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
All right, party people. Oh, what a day. I mean, look, here's the deal, folks. I told you yesterday that this trend line was of huge significance and that if we break it, we're off to the races. And in the morning we had that pump, it rejected and we held it. And that was before jolts, right? And I said exactly 30 minutes before jolts came out, okay? I said that if jolts is good, if it's Gucci, we're going straight to 4,500. Okay? I also told you in the market analysis video that this was my preferred scenario, and the other scenario was like fat reject. Okay? So, what's the point? The point is, I make all these videos because I want to mentally prepare you guys for what can happen. And I've highlighted this curling here for quite some time. And again, look, this is the 5% setup right here. Stow is going, we have no cross yet. This is about to flip. Sure, the daily 9 is, lagging here, but you get the point, right? If this was a 5-minute chart, I would have been in here, okay? So, let's switch over to SPX. Ding, 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 ding. What's the game plan here? Well, we got ADP tomorrow. What's ADP? It's also job numbers. Then we got job numbers on Thursday. And we got PCE. Imagine what happens if those jobs numbers and PCE fit Powell's narrative. We are gonna go straight and fill this gap. Okay. Tomorrow we got full moon. Could this have been the full moon rally? Yes. We're over that inflection point I pointed out to you. Like any chart, I would presume we backtest. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you. So listen up, because I give you this not only for myself, but we have such a great group, and it's impossible for the human brain to remember everything. So the next major level on SPX, okay, is from here, okay, see this volume shelf, all right, to here. Why is that level of importance? That's the MACD cross, or the moving average cross, okay, and that's the volume shelf. All right, above here we have major resistance there, and obviously the gap has a bunch of liquidity waiting to just rain down. So what's the bigger picture thing here? Well, today Apple announced that it's got an event on September 12th, a day before my birthday, and they're gonna launch their new iPhone. Okay, we're flying, okay? But jolts also obviously came out. August consumer sentiment came in lower. Bitcoin flew because Grayscale got, their ETF got approved. Alphabet or Google is going to announce that they're going to put out a bunch of AI tools, okay? Now, US FDIC plans to hit mid-sized banks with keeping more longer-term debt minimums amid the banking turmoil. Okay, that's the news. Okay. See that? After hours candle? See that? See that gap? Okay, so I said yesterday that if VIX takes out this level, it's going down to here. Okay, that's gonna happen. Why? Because VIX did the fake out and then it made itself all the way to underneath that downtrend line. Okay? Remember I said oil was acting funny around here? Well, that's quite, man, the demand went up. And unfortunately, if this hurricane is bad in Florida, oil's gonna go even higher. Okay, what does that mean? That means that SPY is gonna go higher. Okay, oof, look at that. Look at that. That's as bad as, you know, de Blasio trying to sell vaccines with hamburgers. But I also said in the market analysis video, look out for a double top here when the inverted head and shoulders didn't happen. Okay. That's what we wanted. Okay. Has plenty of room to go down. So I would be cautious about getting full bull. However, you know when you get weeks of this shit and then you have, look at that candle compared to that size. This is the same market makers flipping. Okay, the chart says to go higher. Okay, now once per month you'll get these days, right? Sometimes you get some continuation. Okay, those are the banking days. Now I can explain in detail at the full moon circle meeting what I was looking at and what you need to do, whether it's write a checklist or whatever, so that you know when to keep your foot on the gas and when not to. Every setup is, you know, individual. But the worst thing that you can do is take some gains and then chase, right? It's not the same as holding. It all comes down to what you tell your mind before you start trading, because that will dictate how you feel about it. There's a really, really awesome saying about Chinese bamboo. When you plant it the first year, it grows 5 feet. Then it requires the same amount of water and sunshine, and it will not grow for 5 years. Except on the 5th year, it will grow 90 feet. Okay? I will be watching HSI, DAX, and UK 100 tonight, you best believe. Now, also, some of you new guys or whatever might be wondering, why am I showing this NAMO? Well, as you can see, I told you we had reversed and what happened. Okay? So it's not just all out of my pie hole here. This shows us that we can indeed go higher. And look at that today. Okay? Now, I will tell you when I said that we were gonna go. It was exactly 9:47. At 9:47 I told you that if Jolts is good, we're going to 4,500 and buy some out of the money stuff. Why? Because I had laid out this scenario for you. Okay? Now, keep that in mind and keep that in mind. It does not mean that we have to go down, but after a powerful move like this, we retest whether it, I mean, look at here, boom. This candle is stronger than that, and the setup is completely different. Here it's maxed out. But if we want to go back, and see a MACD cross with the identical setup, we would have to go to here. This is a gap up, and then we chopped a little, and then we went. So I would not put that past the market makers, because these weekly premiums, I mean, I told you yesterday when Tesla was 235 and someone asked, what can Tesla do this week? I said 260. Okay, and I even looked back, I said it around here. Tesla is at 257, so you can imagine what the cons did, right? Okay, wonderful. Every stock had a move. A lot of the shitty stocks, although they moved, did not move that much. So there's definitely laggers. I mean, Unity is a prime example here. Look at that. It's down from 50. Okay, has room to go. Just crossed. Okay, so if you missed today, there's gonna be sectors that are absolutely primed to rip. They ripped the big ones first. They ripped Apple. They ripped Tesla. They ripped Nvidia. Chips are hot commodity, I hear. You know what I mean? QQQ definitely way stronger than SPY today, as you can see. And I'm gonna teach you another thing. Once SPY or QQQ hits 1.3, it's officially a trend day, and they do not go back underneath. Okay? Heard here on the moon train. Okay? Obviously in some BABA, because it's only at freaking 94 or whatever. Okay? Again, I cannot explain how important the mental part of this is. I'm not sitting where you're trading. I can't take a look at you and be like, bro, I'm not getting the vibe that you should be trading today. And that's okay. I'm getting the vibe that you're on it today. You should trade. Okay? That's so huge. You know that in life as well. Some days you have a long, list of shit you need to get done, and you just can't. And then some days effortlessly. All right. See this? They pump that up. It goes. They hold it. How do they hold it? They hold it with flow. Why? Because then retail does not look at dark pool. The only retail sees literally is like Cheddar Flow will post, oh, there was 2 million QQQ puts. Okay, they don't watch this. They watch flow. So what do? They pump up the market when they can show that nobody's buying any freaking calls. Then they buy a shit ton of calls, keep the market there while they sell it. Okay? See? So I would not be surprised to get a pullback that is a giant bear trap at this point in time. Okay? That is, we saw buys yesterday. That's a huge buy and sell. Huge. So that does not mean that what they bought today they sold. No. What they bought today, they could have been selling that. But as you can see, the setup is completely different, because you had a kind of a tech rally today because QQQ was up so much more than SPY, and they're holding up SPY, and you saw that I showed you KRE and I showed you oil. Okay, that affects SPY. Now, let me show you some other awesome stuff. If you took the time to watch the market analysis video, I showed you a graph, a risk on, risk off graph, and I told you every time that it pops, it needs to retest. Did I not? I think I did. So I showed you it when it was here, and look at that. Okay, now let's take that a bit further. When it's done that, it's also done that. However, This was bear market territory. This is new market. Okay? I'm not saying this is not gonna, we're not gonna have a huge pullback. It's still very much possible. The setup is there to go higher. The setup is there to go higher. Okay? What does that mean? That means we need to keep an eye. Look at this. We were in this demand zone. There's a freaking gap in the supply zone. And having a lower high into September, we can literally sell from here all the way down to the gap by late October. Okay? It's a possibility, putting it out there. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you had a great day. Join me for futures tonight. Basically, what I'm looking at is if we sell a little bit into, Europe or Asia, either half an hour before there's a move or right at open. So I'm going to try to catch those. And then tomorrow, I would assume that they absolutely cook weekly premiums by chopping it up or keeping it freaking super glued to a chair, because ADP and oil numbers are not as significant as jobs and PCE. So I might be looking for a dip to grab some way out of the money calls and letting it ride. Okay? But again, train's gonna remain the same. If you want to dig deep and feel like you're hitting a wall, there's a link in the membership for the Full Moon Circle. I think we're gonna start it this weekend, if not Friday. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. And anybody in Florida, I really, really pray, and we should all pray that your property, family members, anybody you know, that you guys are gonna make it through and be safe, because no one wants more destruction for anyone on this lovely plane we live on. Thank you. Love yourself, love your family, and God bless.